רוי קרימינס ואנסמבל הג'ז הישראלי. רוי?
Thank you.
Good evening. Hi.
Good evening.
You don't speak any Hebrew at all?
Not yet. I
Yeah.
have a repertoire of words, but I can't converse yet.
Shalom.
I will.
Erev
Shalom.
tov.
Erev tov.
דו במול, מי
Do
במול.
bemol, mi bemol.
כן. כמה מילים על אורחנו. רוי קרימינס הוא מוזיקאי ג'אז נודע מאוד בעולם. הוא טרומבוניסט ומנצח ומעבד ומלחין, והוא השתתף בתזמורותיהם של לואי אמסטרונג, בני גודמן, דיוק אלינגטון. הוא אורח קבוע בפסטיבלי ג'אז חשובים בעולם, כמו באדינבורו, כמו בניצה. ולפני 3 שנים הוא הגיע לארץ, שרשה לה פעם, בגלל אהבת אישה ישראלית, שהוא פגש בשעה שהכין תוכניות מוסיקה באוסטריה דווקא, אבל ככה העניינים מתארגנים. וכאן הוא מנסה לטפח דור צעיר של מוסיקאי ג'אז. רוי, jazz is not one of the most popular forms of art.
True.
And jazzmen don't have a very easy life.
True.
Why is it so important to develop jazz in Israel?
Develop jazz in Israel. Wow. Well, let me answer it this way. Some years ago, I founded the Israel Jazz Ensemble. I write and arrange for it. I play with it. We travel all over the country. We perform at concerts, at kibbutzim and towns. And it's the art of communication. It's communicating with people, and that gives me great personal satisfaction. Therefore, it's very important to me. It's important to the artist, and it's important to the people listening. Communication, that's what it is, like we're doing now, communicating. You might not like what I say or what you say. You might not like what I play or what somebody else plays. But it's communication. It's a way of saying something to somebody else. And the more we can increase our scope of understanding communication, then that's better. That's great. It's the same with jazz music or literature or painting.
Jazz is a better communication medium than other forms of
No.
of music?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. It doesn't really matter whether you like jazz or whether you play jazz or whether you write a novel or write a symphony. It doesn't matter.
What is the difference, the psychological difference between playing jazz and playing classical music?
Classical music. I would say it's more democratic, something like you suggested at the beginning of the program. I would say that for me, classical music is the music of mankind, plural, and jazz music is the music of mankind, singular. It's more the music of the individual. The individual artist comes out more in jazz music than in classical music.
Could you elaborate? Do you mean that in jazz the musician is more important than the tune?
And the repertoire. Yes, I definitely think so. People went to hear Dizzy Gillespie or go to hear Dizzy or Louis Armstrong.
No matter what he plays.
And what they play is not so important. What is important is how they play, how they phrase, what they play. I don't think you'll find that so much in classical music.
Yeah. Do you dream about a kind of a mixture of synthesis between Israeli autochthone local music and jazz and American jazz, Oriental jazz or Yemenite jazz?
No. I don't at all. I think that the more un-American jazz becomes, the lesser jazz it is.
Oh, you're a conservative, don't you?
Well, that's your problem. If you call me a conservative, that's you saying that I'm a conservative, not me. You know, it's people putting things and people, artists, into little bags again. You know, oh, he's a conservative. He's not a conservative. He plays bebop. He plays swing. He plays Dixieland. He plays classic. They're just terms of recognition, and I think people see too much into this.
Though you are faithful to the old masters of jazz.
Yes, but not only
the era
that.
of Goodman, of Ellington.
Yes, but I'm just as much influenced by other forms of art. I'm just as much influenced by Cézanne, or Henry Miller, or Mahler, or whoever.
Once again, the beginning of the century.
Yes, at the turn of the century, there was the great turnaround.
Sir. We are still young.
No, we're not.
What is the future of jazz?
The future of jazz, I personally don't see much good in the future in jazz because the methods of teaching I find are not very good. They concentrate too much on the academics of the music and not enough on the individual student, bringing the individual out. And I find this wrong. I find this method of teaching, like some schools I won't mention in America.
And you try to do it in another way.
The artist must realize first himself. He must be true to himself and realize who he is, and not copy somebody else. Let me give you an example. Where one of the places that I teach, you get a little guy, 13-year-old saxophone player, and he's going around with a Charlie Parker solo book under his arm, and he can play them, but you sit him down to play a slow ballad and he cannot play it because his thinking has been routined into a style. In other words, before he has a chance to express himself, he's put by his teacher into a box, and I think that's terrible. I think it's...
What are you going to play now?
A number that we're going to play at the Susan Dalal series of concerts that we have coming up shortly with Gani Tamir. We're going to sing a blues followed by Duke Ellington's Don't Get Around Much Anymore.